Most Canadians worry about retiring too early. They're afraid of running out of money, losing structure, getting bored. But here's one thing no one really talks about, and frankly, an even bigger risk, and that can be retiring too late. Because the longer you wait, the more you'll pay, not just in taxes, but in time, health, and missed opportunities you can't buy back later. Time is the only currency we all cannot get back. I've seen this story play out time and again. Somebody stays in the workforce for just a few more years to feel safe, and they end up working through the healthiest, most active decade of their life, and then it's gone. By the time they finally retire, the numbers look great, but their energy, their health, and the options that can make retirement meaningful, they're gone. And financially, believe it or not, waiting too long can actually cost you more in the long run. So in this video, I'm going to show you the real cost of retiring too late, what it does to your finances, your taxes, and your quality of life, and how to find the balance between security and freedom. Hi, I'm Ivan Dory, owner of Solid State Wealth. I'm a wealth advisor in Kelowna, BC, with the ability to service across the whole country. If you would like to see what this could look like for your own plan, how to build a retirement timeline that protects your wealth and gives you time to actually enjoy your retirement, book a time with me. The link is in the description below. Part 1, the fear that keeps people working too long. So let's start with the mindset. Most people don't keep working because they love their job. They keep working because they either have to or for fear of not having enough. Fear of running out of money, fear of losing their sense of purpose, fear of the markets, inflation, or CRA taking too much in tax in their retirement. And that's understandable. For decades, maybe their whole life, you've been trained to save, to delay, to protect. But there's a problem with that. That same mindset that got you to retirement can quietly hold you back from enjoying it. Because at some point, the goal isn't just to keep accumulating, it's to use what you've built in a way that gives you a life, not just a balance sheet with numbers. Working longer doesn't always equal more security, and in many cases, it just means more tax. There's fewer healthy years, and there's less time doing the things you actually care about. Part 2, the financial cost of working too long. So let's talk about real numbers. When you stay in the workforce longer than you need to, you might think you're gaining extra income, which in itself is true, you are. But often you're also triggering higher taxes and lost opportunities that maybe could have been avoided. Here's how. You have higher marginal tax rates. So while you're still earning a full salary, your RSP withdrawals and investment income are taxed at the highest rate. Retiring earlier could have given you several years in a lower tax bracket, which you're in that window to draw down your savings more efficiently and keep more for yourself. There's that lost tax control window, roughly between the ages of 60 and 71, where you can create your own income stream. You can choose where your income is lower, and it's perfect for converting RSPs, shifting money to your TFSA, or drawing down your income very strategically. So the longer you keep working, the smaller that window becomes. There's also OAS clawbacks, which you keep earning higher income into your mid to late 60s. You can lose thousands in OAS benefits, not because you're wealthy, but because you waited too long to reduce your taxable income. There's also higher estate taxes. The longer your RSP sits untouched, the more it grows, which in itself, again, is a good thing, but it can mean a bigger tax bill that your estate could face when it's finally withdrawn. Retiring just a few years earlier could actually reduce that future tax burden. In short, the CRA doesn't reward patience, it rewards planning. And the people who keep working just to be safe often end up giving more of their savings back in taxes than they ever would have spent actually just enjoying their life. So part 3, the lifestyle cost, time you can't get back. Let's talk about the cost that really matters. Time we can't get back. The average Canadian retires at around age 64. The average healthy lifespan is between 74 for men and 77 for women. So that means the first decade of retirement, those go-go years we've talked about before, is often the only window you get that you can travel freely, pursue some hobbies, check off those bucket list goals. And every year that you delay retirement is a year of those healthy, active years that you can't get back. You might still have plenty of money later, but you can't buy the energy or mobility or shared time that you wanted with your family that you might have missed. This is one of the most heartbreaking patterns that I've witnessed. Retirees who work until they're 68 or 70 because they can finally have the wealth, but then they don't have the energy or health to enjoy it. And when they realize that, the regret is very real. Part 4, the emotional trap, redefining what enough means. So here's the part that no financial statement can measure: the emotional cost of just keeping on chasing that enough number. For many people, enough is actually a moving target. They think, once I hit $1 million, I'm going to retire, I'm going to make it. Then it becomes 1.2, then 1.5 because inflation changed things. And the truth is, the numbers are often less about money and more about control. People don't want to feel vulnerable. But here's the irony: real control does not come from more savings. It comes from a strategy. When you understand your plan, your tax structure, how long your income will last you, you stop chasing this arbitrary number. You gain confidence to retire, not because you hit your number, but because you actually have a plan that works now. That's the biggest difference between retiring late out of fear and retiring on time out of clarity. Part 5, the real opportunity: retiring on purpose. Now, retiring on time doesn't necessarily mean walking away completely. It means transitioning intentionally. Maybe you scale down to part-time. Perhaps you sell your business gradually instead of all at once. Maybe you take a sabbatical at 60 to test what life looks like beyond the workforce. The key is to stop thinking of retirement as this single event and to start thinking of it as a timeline of choice. Because actually, retiring strategically, even a few years earlier, can help you out with a few things. One, you can use your low income years to draw down your savings at a lower tax rate. 2, you can optimize your CPP and your OAS timing. It's your choice now. 3, you get to protect your health and energy during the years that you're going to enjoy the most. And 4, actually living the life you've been saving for. Part 6, a real world example. Now, we're going to look at a fictitious couple named John and Marie, because why not? John decides to keep working until 70 just to be safe. Marie retires at 63 after doing a full income and analysis. Now, Marie spends the first 5 years of her retirement traveling, volunteering, using strategic RRSP withdrawals, and her TFSA contributions to keep her taxes low. John, meanwhile, he does things differently, right? His full income, he goes right till 70, which means he has lost OAS benefits, the time and freedom he'd been planning for, and many more dollars to tax. So by 73, they both have similar net worths, but Mary had lived 10 years of experiences that John never gets to have. Her finances were efficient, his were reactive. That's the cost of retiring too late. It's not just about money, it's about the life left that you have to live. Part 7, how to find your own right time. Now, the question isn't when can you retire, it's when should you retire strategically. Here's how to find your balance. Start by defining your own lifestyle goals. What does an ideal retirement look like for you? Do you want to travel, spend more time with family, grandkids, part-time work maybe? Calculate your after-tax income needs, not just your savings. Focus on how much income you need to maintain the lifestyle that you want, and how much of it is guaranteed versus market-based fluctuations. Next, map out your tax window between 60 and 71. Now, this is where you can safely draw down your RSPs, your TFSAs, repositioning your assets for the long term. Model different retirement start ages. See how retirement looks like at 62, 65, 68, how it changes your taxes, your income, your lifestyle. And finally, work with a professional. A financial plan isn't just math, it's timing. It's getting that right, and it can mean the extra years of freedom you're looking for. Retiring too late isn't just a missed opportunity, it's one of the most expensive and financial and emotional mistakes that you could make. Because the goal of retirement isn't to have the most money, it's to have enough money with enough time to enjoy what you've built. So don't let fear or habit keep you from working longer than you need to. Build a strategy, test the math, give yourself permission to live your life on your terms. Because sometimes the smartest financial move isn't just to keep earning, it's to finally start living. If you'd like help finding that balance in your life, the point where your money, taxes, lifestyle, they all align, book a time with me. The link is in the description below. And again, if you think of someone that comes to mind that might benefit from this topic, please forward this video on to them. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.